Hi, Cancer. Great to see you. Welcome to your June 2019 Astrology and Tarot reading. Welcome back to the channel, and thank you for your patience with these readings. I had to move and start a new job all in the one go, and it's been quite hard to get the readings up, but we're getting them up. Regardless, we're getting them up. So I just wanted to thank you all for your continued patience and particularly your support, because doing this channel and having this outlet is so important to me. And it feels quite therapeutic. I've actually been really excited to do your reading though. And I'll tell you why. July is going to change your life. Just like that. Just like that. And as we lead into your season at the end of the month, Cancer, we're in that Gemini 12th house energy. And I just want you to know that it's going to be fine. You are supported. Things are coming out from other people's mouths, from all over the place, that will set you free. The truth will set you free. Things are changing in a big way, and especially if it's to do with your partnerships, and particularly as well if it's to do with your exes. I have to say, Cancers never they never quite get how unforgettable they are as people. I was actually saying the other day, I wish I had more Cancerian friends because I just never really met them. I think it's kind of the change in our country anyway. The school cutoff time, depending on what year you're in, is Cancer season. If you're whatever, so it kind of gets split, really. Is what I'm trying to say. It was less likely, I think, for a lot of people. But that being said, you guys don't realize how much people can't, quite let you go. There's this conception, and it's a misconception, that Cancers are the ones that cling to the past and don't let go. Karma is challenging that belief. You're not the one that's had the problem letting go. Somebody else has. And I think for a lot of you, it's an old marriage partner. There's something to do with a marriage partner either coming into your life, you're going to meet the person you marry, you're going to make big changes with the person you marry. That can be a good thing. You can do something new. You can change something about your lives that's really pleasant. If you've been married before and aren't married now, they could have some sort of significant part in your life. Marriage is a big theme we're going with here, Cancer. A lot of you could get engaged. On a minimal level, maybe you're dealing with a Libra that was a big part of your life. What happened since January has not necessarily been the easiest in many ways. The transition from something to something else was not easy. Whether it was a relationship or a legal contract, maybe some of you work in law, Cancer, I don't know. It's not been easy. It's about to get better though. It's about to change a lot. Saturn and Pluto retrograding in your relationship house. What have you learned? What are you learning? When the moon conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn in July, and this is a June reading, okay? Don't get me wrong. I know where we are. It's the 1st of June as I'm doing this. It's gonna bring up some stuff you didn't know, especially if you're dealing with a Scorpio. People are talking. People are telling you things, and you're thinking, I didn't know how much they cared. I didn't think they cared that much. I didn't know they still felt that way. What are you going to do about it, though? That's up to you. But somebody still has feelings and they want to tell you, or somebody else is going to tell you. You're on more people's minds in June. Could be an earth sign. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. You're on more people's minds, Cancer, than you realize. Okay. Somebody is going to tell you something. Could be a Virgo. Yeah. Could be a Virgo. Hermit. Page of Wands. Fire. Strength. Okay, we got a Leo. 3 of Swords in the challenge. 4 of Swords. How's progress? Oh boy, somebody or something broke your heart. But it's getting better. Okay, let's draw some more. Four of Swords, what is this? We're coming out of our hermit cage. Yep, past lovers. Yeah. The world. Soulmates. That is something. This is significant. Okay, you're surprised by this. You're very surprised. I think a fire sign is significant for many of you. Could be a somebody that's fiery in nature, athletic, passionate, career-driven, that kind of stuff. But dear Lord, Cancer, you didn't see this happening again. I don't think you saw this coming back. I don't think you expected that message. I don't think you expected that email. I don't think you expected that person showing up at your door. And I'll tell you something true. This doesn't have to be an ex. This can be a soulmate from a past life. But there's something about this summer, Cancer, that is going to change your world. I'm telling you that. 6 of Cups in the world, a soulmate. And maybe you thought, this is so strange, maybe you thought this wasn't going to work in this lifetime. And then it did. For those of you that are happily married or happily in a relationship, you may be beginning a process where you fall in love with the person all over again, and they with you all over again. Because maybe lately it's been hard. Maybe lately it's been challenging, and you've had to be a source of strength for this person, or they for you. And you're getting it. Some of you have maybe entered into motherhood for the first time. Some of you maybe will enter into motherhood for the first time. And you're going to be somebody's rock. But you always are, though. Could be a pregnancy. There is something about June that brings you great joy and great triumph. Could be a Leo, could be a Scorpio, could be an Aquarius, could be a Taurus. We also have the water signs, all the fire signs, and a Virgo. But don't get too hung up on the signs. Somebody cannot forget you. And even if you're in a relationship, maybe that doesn't mean that somebody isn't still pining for you somewhere else. Not to say that you should act on that. I'm just saying that you may be surprised when you find out in June how much people cared or what that brings. You've got this. It's been hard. I don't envy Cancers. Not at the minute. Because with Saturn and Pluto being there, if you haven't learned something, it can really feel like you're getting through it the hard way. Many Cancerians have, had, depending on what degree you are, you may have experienced a lot of challenges or a lot of changes. The changes don't always have to be so challenging, but what I'm seeing here is that some sort of trauma or pain or heartbreak, for a lot of you Cancers as well. And I was just about to say, some sort of pain is getting healed by, you need to rest. Some of you are working too hard, that's for sure. But some of you, as you know, if you're into astrology, the sign of Leo, and we go into Leo season in July, of course. There was a Leo eclipse back in January. It was a lunar eclipse. It was very intense. Leo rules the heart. Somebody in your life may be having heart trouble, or you may be experiencing angina or heart problems or anything. Check it out. And this isn't designed to give medical advice, but being told to be cautious and make sure that you're looking after your heart health, whether it's because you've gone through a tumultuous time, you need to listen to your heart. Because something about this month is incredibly challenging in many ways, because it puts you at a point you didn't think you'd be. And I'm not saying that that's going to be a bad point. I'm just saying that something about it you find kind of hard, because what you let under your shell affects you deeply. And you really need to consider whether or not you can put yourself into a period of heart inspection, because that's kind of what I see with the Hermit and the Three of Swords. Inspecting your heart. What's going on in there? Are you listening to this? Because I don't think a lot of Cancers have been. Your heart's telling you something and you have to listen to it in June. I think it's somebody, and this could just be for one person, but there's something so, we've walked this world before together about this. It's sort of as though you're being reunited with somebody that feels like home. You know what I mean? I think something that somebody says this month really opens your eyes to how much you're loved, or how much you mean, or how much you matter. And I think you need that. The crow, the vulture, and the spider. Oh, what a tangled web we weave. The crow is a very magical card. But there's a lot of air in that, the crow and the vulture. You could be dealing with an air sign. The vulture, though, somebody in your life is very protective of you. But I also feel with the vulture, you need to let... Sorry, I got cut off there, Cancer. The vulture did not want me to go down that line. Somebody in your life is very protective, but don't think somebody's not watching you, because somebody is admiring you from afar. And I don't mean that in a scary way, God. I just mean that somebody is keeping a closer eye than you think, and somebody wants to protect you. Somebody's not, and this could be a parent or a friend, somebody's not happy with the past decisions you've been making in terms of your health, your mental health, your emotional health. They're kind of hoping that you're done. And the thing about the crow is that you're becoming, and I feel like this is so somebody's mother saying, why do you keep dating these monsters? Or why do you keep going back to that monster? And they're kind of not saying anything. They're thinking it, but they're not saying it. And the crow represents you becoming so spiritually strong that you say, I think I learned something here. I've learned from this. I understand this now. And it may be that you understand the other person had trauma, had tragedies that they had to go through. And maybe some of you reunite with them. I don't judge people for doing that. It's so different to everybody's situation. It works for some people. Or maybe it's that you finally find that person that you deserved all these years, that can love you like that. Do you know what I mean? You realize that in many cases, Cancer, the times that you were accused of being hypersensitive was just simply because you were unhappy and you felt no one could hear you. The past, present, and future are becoming so clearly defined in June. And I think in many ways you're going to discover a whole new life for yourself. A whole new way of loving, a whole new way of living. And with the spider, you realize how much of it you're creating yourself. You're enjoying the journey rather than just waiting for the one thing. And it's when you begin to enjoy the journey, it appears, it happens. I love this. I was so excited for Cancer's reading. And I think it was because I got this really strong vibe that you're finally having that time. And eclipse energy is going to be so transformative. Trust me, it really is. And I'm not saying it's going to wipe out everything and everyone, because I think people associate eclipses with that. Eclipses can bring something new. They can end a chapter of one particular saga, and what comes in its place is so much better. Trust me. There's more to do with the eclipses in July, by the way. But the Capricorn Cancer eclipses are going to be important. So I just wanted to tap on them a little bit before we got into yes, manifestation and worthiness. Yes, you're finally getting it. You're finally getting it. And compatibility. Boom. You've manifested this soulmate connection, this love relationship, this marriage partner, whatever it is. And it's all because you saw yourself. I love this. I don't want to touch this, but I do want to touch this actually. Listen, we're going to go more into the overall picture in the extended, the people, the signs, the key points, who this compatibility person is and what they're looking for, how it all is going to transpire, what the hermit energy has been, what has been this source of loneliness, what is it that you need to release or see to get into that zone. So I will see you in the extended if you want to go into this a little bit deeper. If not, Cancer, I wish you all the best for June. I think it's going to be fabulous. Take it easy. If you feel tired the first couple of weeks of June and want to rest and be solid, be on your own, be in solitude, do that. 12th house energy can feel very draining. Rest for your season. Venus is going to move into your sign too, so have a little rest first, because this is going to blow your mind. So I'll see you guys later. And if not, I'll see you in the extended. Bye, guys.